Hey guys, it's Wayne from Wonderland Studios. Today we're going to talk a little bit about cover-ups. You got a tattoo that you're not in love with? You don't have to live with that. Why not cover it up? I'm going to tell you how we do that right now. Hey guys, it's Wayne from Wonderland Studios. Today we're going to talk about cover-ups and how I approach cover-up tattoos. So basically a cover-up is if you got a bad tattoo, you don't have to live with it. You can laser it off, which is time consuming and painful. Trust me, I've done my entire arm and then re-tattooed it. Or you cover that up. Now, a good tattoo artist can cover up most tattoos and do it in a way that you can't tell that there was anything else underneath. So I tend to do a lot of cover-ups, probably 1 or 2 a week. And so I'm gonna tell you how I approach a cover-up project. So the first thing I'm going to do when I do a cover-up is I'm going to photograph the existing tattoo, unless it's super simple and just something that I can just lay something over top of, which I mean does happen from time to time. But if it is any kind of manner of complex tattoo, I'm going to photograph it so that I have like a record of it, and so I have something that I can work with. The camera kind of shows me exactly where it fits on your body, and it shows me how much room I have on either side of things. You know, if there is like existing tattoos, or if it's really close to like the knee or the elbow or somewhere where I can't really, where I'm going to be limited with space, the camera kind of helps to show that. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to trace it out. I'm going to trace it out. When I trace it out, I use this stuff. It's like called contact. It's like a clear adhesive plastic. So I think they use it in like crafty stuff, and people use it in their shelves or something. But basically, I found that this works the best for tracing out tattoos. You can use tracing paper, but I find like when you start tracing that out, you can poke right through the tracing paper, and it's hard to keep it in place. And also, the same thing goes with saran wrap. It's really hard to keep it in place. But you take something like this, you stick it down, doesn't go anywhere, and I can get a pretty accurate tracing of what's going on there. So I trace that out. Stick that on my scanner, and now I have like a life-size or in real life version of that tattoo that I can draw from. So especially if it's something really complicated, I'm going to want to work with the existing lines that's already there and the existing shadows so that I can kind of hide the tattoo. So this kind of helps to get like a good accurate idea of what's underneath it, or what I'm going to have to cover up with. So I guess the key to doing a good tattoo, a good cover-up, is you want to make it look like you don't want it to be obvious that it's a cover-up, is a good way to point it out. So you don't want there to be a big dark splotch where there shouldn't be a dark splotch, and you don't want there to be lines coming through from the old tattoo, you know, in the existing tattoo where there shouldn't be some lines coming through. So what you want to do is you want to work with the tattoo that's already there, and you want to incorporate that into the new design. So either you're taking the existing dark shadows and you're kind of blending that out in the shadows of the new tattoo, or you're kind of working with those existing lines and kind of working it in a way that it disguises the tattoo that's underneath. I think that a good way to do a cover-up is to take the focal point of the new tattoo and put that somewhere else, and then hide the old tattoo in the shadows of the new tattoo. So some cover-ups can be pretty challenging. As you can see in this one here, it's pretty dark and it's right in the center of the arm. It doesn't have a lot of negative space. So what I've had to do here is use a high contrast light source on this Buddha to kind of leave a lot of it in shadow and kind of drop off the old tattoo. And then I've used a little bit of that existing negative space to create highlights to kind of still make it look three-dimensional. Cover-up tattoo kind of provides its own challenges when it comes to tattooing. So it's not as easy as just sticking down a stencil and laying that thing over top of it. The thing about a tattoo is that it's not like, you know, putting a fresh coat of paint over existing paint on your wall. That tattoo has to live in the same layers with the other ink. And so basically, if you have a dark splotch, you can't cover that with a light color. You need to work with dark tones, and you have to understand tones and tone value to kind of make all that stuff blend seamlessly so you can't tell there's a tattoo underneath it at all. And I find like I do a cover up, like I said, probably a couple a week. And so it's really important for me that when you do that cover up that no one can even tell that there was a tattoo underneath in the long run. So it's like understanding tone value and understanding how to make that tattoo not look like there was anything else underneath it ever. I think the worst cover-ups are the ones that are like really dark in one section, so you can tell like, oh, there was something underneath that, and a tattoo artist can pick it up right away. You're like, oh, there was something there before. So you want to kind of make it look seamless, like there wasn't anything there in the first place, or the best you can. With this particular tattoo, the Canadian flag, I was able to hide those thick black lines in the drop shadow of the clock and kind of use some of the broken pieces to disguise where it was. Now the red was a bit of a particular challenge, but luckily for me it was pretty faded. And if you know color theory, you know that red is a tone of brown and ochre is also a tone of brown, so it's pretty easy to kind of just blend the ochre over top of it and you couldn't even see it afterwards. And you can see 6 months later, once it's settled into the skin, it's completely indistinguishable to the naked eye. Well, I hope that I helped to show you that you're not stuck living with a bad tattoo. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. My name is Wayne, this is Wonderland Studios, and we'll see you next time.